adulterated. It's probably replicated, but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on the Legbete TV radio. I seriously love listening to it. Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Tina Kulo, and you're listening to Legbete TV radio. Stay tuned. Legbete TV radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Legbete TV radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV radio, the pathfinder for radio. Elegbete TV radio, we dare to lead. Elegbete TV radio, we are not just about radio, TV, or internet. We are all about connecting with creating a community of great minds and values.
Floridian. Yeah, no matter what you do, they say make money, because at the end of the day, money answereth all things. Those are not my words, those are the words of the Bible. If you believe the Bible, then you know that money is important. If you like Dubai, you like Paris, you like New York, you like London and Monaco, Italy, Milan, and all of the beautiful places in this world, they were all made by money, not prayers, not wishes, not hoping, but money. So money is important. And I've always asked this question. You look at Chinese people, you look at Jewish people, you look at Indian people, there is always this flow of transgenerational wealth. I'm going to mention some names and some people might not like it, but I'm just going to use them. So I was growing up in Warri, for instance, there's a guy called Shiv Musheshe, and there's Musheshe Estate. And today, when you look at his children, they are practically are falling from that high heavens where, for your father to be so rich, you have like a massive estate. If you grow up in Warri, you understand Musheshe Estate shares the same fence with Our Lady's High School. And today, some of his children are just neither here nor there. That the whole estate have been sold. You know what it means to sell an entire estate? It's like owning VGC, and 1 minute you lose it. And I can go on. When I was growing up, Abiola was like the Dangote of his era. But I don't know if I've driven past anyone. So that's a black company. It's even worse stronger, or that one is worse stronger. That doesn't mean that they are not. I mean, look at the Eleganza business. I don't know what happens when he leaves, but it has always been like that. I'm not sure I can go to the east and find Nnamdi Azikiwe's business. I'm not sure, okay? And you can go, no, like that. I don't have all the facts, but I just think that black people, especially Africans, leave the African American, but even though I will use them as a case study, black people don't build wealth for the next generation. We just keep creating a cycle of survival. And I'm trying to figure out why. Why we're talking sports, why we're using sports as a canvas to do our painting on money and wealth and all that. I'm trying to figure out why. Because so where I used to work, I remember one day we were having a conversation. It was a very, very simple, straightforward conversation. And the owner said something that was crazy to me. It was strange. It struck me very, very strangely. Like, why would the owner of a company say this? He said, I built this company. I mean, the greatest thing that can happen is to die before it crashes. Wait a minute. You have 3 children. You're waiting for this business to crash. You're expecting this business to crash immediately. You die, and it drew a paradox that the saddest thing for a man is to build a business and still be alive when it crashes. And I was like, okay, well, this business was built for it to crash. What's the hope of the people hanging around it? But again, Uruba will say, you see to get sense, or you hear to get sense. That's the literal translation. You hear to be wise. You listen. You hear to be wise, or you see to be wise. And in other words, you learn from other people's experience. And that struck me, because I've always, wondered why we don't have like a 7-generation wealth, 8-generation or 10-generation wealth. So let me give you a good example. If you use ketchup, yeah, John Kerry, their company. that's a 7th-generation business. It's 7th-generation business. If you drive Ford, that's about a 10th-generation business right now. If you drive, you know, Chrysler, all those things, they are multi-generational businesses. So I'm wondering, why is it that when it comes to the black people, we don't have that multi-generational business? Having said that, there is a likelihood, still result today. I don't know what happened to the AC. It's acting up. I mean, you put it out 1 minute, it goes off and then it goes up. It goes on and then it goes up. I don't understand. We'll fix that over the weekend. So basically, so it's gone off. It practically shuts down everything. I don't know what's going on. Maybe two wires have kissed each other inside the whole thing, but that just happened this morning, and it's crazy. But I mean, I started noticing it yesterday, but this morning I really felt it. So we'll fix it later. So it's going to be a sweaty show. That's the more reason why I'm not going to run over time today. So I'm asking this question: what do you think? So this is not about me. What do you think? Is there anybody in your family, your bloodline, that have transgenerational? What we see is, oh, their father used to be rich, but no more. Their papa built that house, so that's where it ends. What is the reason why we Nigerians, black people, especially those of us, let's use Nigeria as a case study. Why is it that we're not able to create transgenerational wealth? Is it lack of information, lack of knowledge, lack of ability, lack of strategy, lack of planning, or we're just wasteful? Like one man once said when I was younger, he said, poor people are very wasteful. There's one thing you should run away from with poor people is the spirit of wastefulness. And church folks, everything is spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything is spirit. The spirit of this, the spirit of laziness, the spirit of loathfulness, the spirit of loss, everything is spirit of jealousy. Nothing is just natural. Everything is spirit, 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 spirit. But as you grow older, you start thinking, like say that guy was right too. I don't know, but it does sound like he was right. So on a sweaty Friday morning, let's look at all of that while we look at all the talking points from the beautiful word of football. Like I always say, football is a major focus. We could jump into a few other things here and there, but football is a major focus. I will take it like that. Once again, you're welcome to the Sports Buffet on the Legota TV radio. My name is Sidafi Matthew. You love to come in the Legota on Sports. Now let's go to Asaba. That's the place where I want to kick off today. I've been lagging behind, running around, not following everything as it is happening. But let's try and jump into what's going on. The chairman Lagos State Sports Commission, my friend and my brother Shalai Kwakun the other day came out to say, oh, we're going to Asaba. We're not concerned about winning the medal. We're just going there to groom young athletes. I was like, hey, bros, this is a scam. But let's leave it like that. Now, on the medal table, I mean, the championship is still on. Anything is possible. But on the medal table, Delta State, as usual, it's not a surprise if Delta is topping the medal table. Warren the carry last is swept across Delta State. It's just that there's no development in the state. That's the sad part. I hear that the new governor is going to change some stuff. I pray he does. Delta State tops the medal table with 36 points. And women are leading. Some kudos for the women here. 22 medals from the girls. I don't say women. Should I say women? These are kids. This is Youth Olympics, right? Okay, from the girls, 22 medals, and from the boys, 14 medals. There are only two genders in this Youth Olympic or Youth Games, as we call it here. There are only two genders, so I'm allowed to say boys and girls. I don't care what any other person thinks, but that's just the way it is. There is no in between. We have boys and girls competing. Lagos State has 14 medals for women or for girls and 4 for boys. Hey, the boys from Meko City are only good at doing talks and collecting tickets in the streets. They know sabi do sports, running after bike and running after buses. And I don't think they go use them at a very early age. They go catch them young and go and collect medal. Edo State battling with a governor that is fighting his deputy. They are still there on the medal table. They are third. Bayelsa people are fourth, and Ogun State we're going to kill you, as they say in Benin. Ogun State are in third. Kwara. Ogun State are in fifth. Sorry, Kwara in sixth. FCT are in seventh. I'm not going to give you top 10 anyway. 8th is River State. They're not doing well this time around. But it's Christopher Green. What's going on? The girls are turning in only one medal, one gold medal. The boys 4. And then Anambra is in 9th position with Plateau State. in 10th position. Having said that, let's look at the medal count. The medal count, the way it is, total overall total in gold. That's what I'm going to do. Leave the silver and the bronze. Delta States, come top with 36 gold medal. Lagos State is second with 18. Edo State 17, just as well as Bayelsa, but it's in the gold where the difference is. In the other medal, sorry, where the difference is. That's why their placement is like that. Ogun State, as I said before, in 5th position. They have 7 gold medal. Kwara followed immediately with 6 gold medal. FCT 6 gold medal. Rivers State have 5 gold medal. Anambra have 4 gold medal, and you have Plateau State with 4 gold medal. That's how it is. If your state is there, please follow them. You have to share them up. If you're not able to go to Asaba, it's not really a problem. I'm not saying it is good, but it's not a problem. But if you're on social media, you use the hashtag NYG Asaba 2023. That's the hashtag for the games, and the handle is at 2023 underscore NYG on Twitter or on X. Sorry, I still keep using the word Twitter. I'm not gonna know verse. I beg. Yeah, I'm not gonna know verse. Twitter 90 is sweet pass from my mouth. To the use X. Sometimes it's like saying that you talk about your ex-girlfriend. Somebody walk into the show halfway, it's like you're talking about your ex. So you can go to Twitter or X, Eliomox's street, and go and retweet or reshare or re-X or exit. Whatever name works for you. It's our own, and that's the only way to populate it. That's the only way to spread the news about it and let the whole world know about it. So again, the Nigerian Premier Football League returns this weekend, and it's going to spread, through to Monday. I know that Sporting Lagos will play against, who are they playing again? But they're playing on Monday night. If you're in Lagos, do well to be there. You can follow online, download the MPFL Live app anywhere you are in the world, because I know that I have a very large global audience now, so we have to think about that. Blessing also one of the earliest people that I met in my life in Lagos. I came to Lagos in 2003, came to sell my club, and eventually sold the club to Colonel Suleiman, Ahmed Usman Suleiman, who was then with the Nigerian Army at Bonny Camp, and I was asked to join the management of the team and bring them back to the top. And that was where I met Blessing also. She's gone from just being a youth couple at the time to be a power block at Silverbed, the sports cafe. I think she's one of the most followed sports talk show hosts in Nigeria, and she's doing well, doing great things there. But beyond that, she's become a friend and a sister. She's family. She's here today. First time I'm having you on the YouTube channel on my live show. Thank you very much for being here. She said we must follow today's show. Thank you very much. Michael later say just look at what is happening at Erisco Foods right now. The owner is acting as a GM, CEO, PRO, man, everything. I can imagine that going to come in on Arise because someone complained about the product. I don't think Dangote would be that kind of a guy. But again, the Dangote business. Again, another thing I talk about businesses in Nigeria. It is hard for you to say Nigerian successful business come out, write a book, and say. So there is a science to every madness. If you ask me now to say, tell the story of how you started this business, I'll be able to write it down in details. There's no cutting corners. How this thing start from YouTube first, and then to having this radio and running it the way we're running it. But most people can't even explain it because they can't explain the part. So there's a guy. Let me give you a good example. There's a guy. He comes across like a man of God anyway. He's a big guy. I'm not going to mention his name. But it was the guy who was responsible for supplying vehicles during 2003 All African Games, Koja Games. And it was responsible for supplying bulletproof cars. And a lot of people would not like this, and it's become a very big media mogul now. And every time I see him talk in public places, talk about, and every 2 words he mentioned God, like my former chairman. If you send him a message, he will send you a scripture as a response. And I'm looking at him and I'm saying to myself, oh, guy, you thief money now. You thief money, set up this business. Don't come here and be giving people all this talk of God did this, God did that. But that's one. There's a woman in the Nigerian woman that's regarded as the richest black woman. And every time I sit where I am and I'm watching her talk in churches on like, because me, I'm a very provocative thinker. And I'm saying, come, explain to us how you got the oil well that made you rich. If you give me oil, well, no matter how stupid I am, I'll be richer than you. It's a simple thing. I will call ExxonMobil or one company, come and be drilling and be giving me royalties. That's all. Anybody can be rich if they illegally empower you with wellhead. But when you show up and you're not saying it is God, or you know, say not be God. Sometimes that's why I say the Nigerian church is a structure that I hate, because the pastor sitting on that podium knows that this woman, they lie here for God. They use God's name to the lie, right? So my question is it that as a black person, as a Nigerian, we cannot really grow well legitimately? We cannot really grow, like make money. Because even some of the biggest bank CEOs in Nigeria today, they were giving free money by Obasanjo. Let's not deceive ourselves and act like, oh, these guys just work very hard, fastidiously, grind and made money. So is there a lock somewhere that says black person, oh, you, because if we know that one, it go there easy for us to know. So okay, the only way to the top is to do illegitimate things. And anybody then they shout for anybody anymore. No anybody they holy pass anybody anymore. That's the way I'm looking at this. I don't know if you guys have any contribution, any comment. You work in places, you see the organizations you work for, you know the in between. I'm not saying come here and mention anybody's name, but use Nigeria as a template. Why is it that Nigerians cannot have transgender? If you come here, they will opt for sports today. We're not going to talk sports. So we promise ourselves yes, listen today. We'll talk about this. Why is it that Nigerians can't? Again, let's talk about the lower side. I just started it off from the rich people side. Let's talk about the poor people and the habits that is keeping us poor, very, very poor. You know that 20 friends can be together. They can contribute money by Ashwebi, go to parties, and people say, what's Ashwebi? Ashwebi money is 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, highest 50,000 or 150,000. I agree with you. Go to parties, and I used to be in a social football club like All-Star team. And when somebody's wedding, everybody's go to Asaba, go to this one, go to that one. And one day I sat and I was like, this one, if there's somebody one word, all of us contribute 100,000, 150K, 250K. You know that these same people not go agree, contribute 100K together and make them build a business. So, it always amazes me when I think about it. And they will not to. And once money come in, people separate, people fight and all that. But they can sit down in one Saturday morning after the game and blow up $1 million in drinks, in meat, in fish, wild girls and all that. Why is it that black people, we, not African American, I'm talking of we. I like to use that word African American, I don't know what that would mean. Why is it that we Nigerians, we know they like to build wealth together? Or would the thing say we go pray? Money will come for heaven. The last time something for heaven, I'm now. I just Bible day with nobody. The only thing with the for heaven and rain and water. And it costs flood, not be money. So I want to know from you guys. It's just for me an opportunity for me to learn, because I'm doing a research and I want to be able to be clear what I am saying, so that I don't go out there and go and postulate and say things that I do not understand. And then people follow me, because again, when you're popular, they say you're an influencer. I don't want to influence people wrongly, but I want to be sure, because I've looked at patterns and the patterns don't add up. Okay. So let's hear from you guys. Michael Leonard say, I always believe that to build generational wealth, allow competent people handle your organization regardless of their relationship with you. We employ much emotions in taking critical decisions. That one, even for somebody who already built business. What of the startup, the person who won't just start? How do you start and then set up that business to become a generational wealth provider? That's what I want to know. Excuse me. Okay, so let's start from Instagram today and see how the Friday is going to go. Man, this place is hot. Jesus. So Vicky say, but really, poor people are very wasteful. Yeah, I heard that like since 1991. Let me tell you how wasteful poor people can be. Let me give you a very good example. So you're living in a flat or in a one-room apartment, and you're that kind of guy that like to buy things in bulk. That's how I was raised. I like to buy things in bulk. And every now and then, before I got married, people will come and stay with me. You know, I'm traveling, I'm coming to Lagos to buy things. I want to spend 4 or 5 days, and then they will stay. And you see this person go to the kitchen because there's plenty of Milo somewhere in the reserve. There's the one that is already in the thing. They will make a Milo with milk and sugar that would almost be as thick as cocoa oat or pap. And in my head, I mean, when it comes to food, I will never quarrel with anybody because of food. Because that's not the poor rich way you know if you buy food. There's always going to be food. It's just that there's not going to be next time for you to stay in my house. And in my head, I'm calculating, do you drink tea like this in your house? It's not just because you're wasting it, but because it will damage your stomach. Nobody drinks tea like this. Nobody puts, like 4 spoons of full tablespoon of powdered milk in a small cup of tea. Nobody puts like 6 spoons of Milo in a small teacup, and you're stirring it. It is when the tea is not staying on the wall of the cup. When you finish drinking, the whole cup is blind because of your that's one. Again, you say you're hungry, you want to boil rice. It's just you and maybe me in the house, and probably I'm not even eating, right? You boil a pot of rice full. And then when you ask, why you fill the pot like why you boil cook so many rice? Say, in case somebody come. Are you expecting somebody? No. Did you invite somebody? No. Why do you think somebody is going to come? Why do you think this house is a transit airport for people to come and go without prior invitation? And then the person cook, maybe eat once or twice, the rest waste. And they don't realize that it is wastefulness. So when you even talk like common food, have you heard those kind of people? And that mentality, that attitude is what they carry on, even when they not see money. That wastefulness continues. But when you speak, oh, why? Come on, rice, come on, food. I ain't really talk like that. That's funny. That's how wasteful poor people can always be. Tosi Adebambo say, from the day immemorial, African rich men have been ripping each other off. And I went on to say, you need to research the wealthy ones abroad too. They enrich themselves. But no, see, if you enrich yourself wrongly, don't come to church and begin to teach me wealth creation skills where you know practice. Anybody can be successful if you give them well ed. Tom Polo no go school. Tom Polo no learn business. Tom Polo is very rich. He's one of the richest person in Delta State right now. I've not seen Tom Polo go to church and teach people how to make money because silently he's making his money like that. I've not seen even Asari Dokubo, who's the son of a judge, okay, who had good education. I don't see him going to teach people because he knows him at Togri to get money. That's wealth. It's not one word you need to teach people. Or MC Oluomo coming to teach you how to make money. What am I going to learn from you? The methodology of making that money. That's my question. In Nigeria, you see people where we say they thief money, or a pastor teaching me how to make wealth. I was like, wait a minute. Which wealth you make? You create wealth. You don't create wealth. You just they scam people, they preach fear, and then they pay you off free, they pay you off free tax. If they do that, Sunday service, midweek service, anybody will be rich. It's not rocket science. But I'm talking about engineering a business and transferring that wealth to your children and then laying down principles, models that will make it possible for them to transfer to their children. Don't forget that you transfer to, say, 3 children. Those 3 children are going to branch it off to transfer to, let's say, 3 each. That's another 9 children. That will not need to transfer to another 3 each. 3 times 9, that's 27 children, times 9 again, times 3 again. You understand? That principle is what I'm asking. Why don't we have that within black people? Don't come and teach me how to make wealth after you thief money. That one is easy. It's like tomorrow night we can call the teacher how to make money. I don't know if you understand my point. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Sugar wants to say, as Blessing Owosu and Co come here today, no big person for here make them know. Blessing knows how the Chris now. Blessing knows say our brother the Chris. She knows her brother the mad. So that be. She knows. Same me now they take nonsense. This thing that be behavior whether they fake. It's constant both here and off here. Mr. Sugar want to say. That's why I love the show anyway. It's the street vibes. Mr. Sugar say, Baba, for Nigeria, Yahoo boys, they do Thanksgiving. Pastor, off the mic, I'm out of this place. He said, Pastor, fast and pray for drug pushers to succeed. Wow, wow. It does look so anyway. Mr. Sugar said, Nigeria always believe in divine intervention for everything, which is funny anyway. We spent one time praying and we spent looking for better ways to improve ourselves. I agree with you completely. He said, MC Loma been write book. I stand to be corrected. I'm not saying it, but I think I saw something like that somewhere. So in the book, he will talk about the part of snatching ballot buses, beating people, thuggery, and the rest. I don't know. I'm just saying. Where are we? Tosi say you need to recheck. Okay, I think I've read that one. Like I said, we're not going to spend that much time, and let's look at the fixtures for the weekend games. I know that's what a lot of people want me to touch base with. There are matches today. There's going to be matches tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday night. At least in the Nigerian league, there's no more postponement. Well, somebody say until they blow the first whistle to 90 minutes. Make I not to raise my hope. Well, there's a story that Zidane is going to come back to management, but there are conditions that he's given. One, he would want to have 260 million as starters for transfer business. At Olympic Marseille, there is a Saudi Arabia consortium that wants to buy 80% shares in that club and own the club. Remember, it is General Gattuso that is the manager of the club right now, but there is a possibility that once they buy the club, they will tell Gattuso, thank you very much, hasta la vista, go and eat pizza in Italy, bye-bye, and then they'll bring in Zinedine Zidane. That's the talk anyway. I don't know yet. And in France, talking about France, there's going to be a match between Strasbourg and Lens, 8 p.m. tonight. In the Bundesliga, it is Hoffenheim and Dortmund. Plenty goes in this game. Plenty goes to follow them, or people will follow this game. Barcelona play against Sevilla today. You have a good chance to go top of the league. African Cup Champions League qualification round. There is a few games going on, about 3 of them. Pyramids of Egypt to play against APR of Rwanda. Al Ahly of Egypt will play against Georges of Ethiopia. Orlando Pirates of South Africa will play against Wane Galaxy of Botswana. So that for those 2 people are from the same region. The CAF Conference Cup qualification have Super Sports United of South Africa playing against Gaborone United of Botswana as well. And Bakane Bullet, the guys that defeated one of the Nigerian teams, I think will play against Bendel Insurance. I hope that they win that one. Oh, that's going to go down tonight. Tomorrow. That's how my daughter sings. Oh, there's a movie that they sang that song on. I've forgotten the title of the movie. My daughter, when she was growing up, she used to say, tomorrow. So tomorrow you have loads of games. Every corner you turn in England. There's Aston Villa playing against Brighton. That match is going to be interesting. 2 teams that like to score. 2 teams that like on the front foot. 2 teams that like to attack. Plenty of goals here, over 2.5 is sure. Bournemouth will play host to Arsenal, 3 p.m. kickoff. Remember, the Aston Villa Brighton game is 12:30 p.m. And the one between Arsenal going away to Bournemouth is 3 p.m. Now, there's something Arsenal this season. Last season, Arsenal is going to a game. Even if they're going to play against Man City, where you know they will kill them, sort of a confident expectation that Arsenal might win. This season, even though Arsenal have not lost a single game, there is a trepidation. There's a fear that they are 1 defeat away from a meltdown. They are 1 defeat away. They've drawn only 2 games against Fulham and against Tottenham Hotspur. Fulham game I thought they should have won. Tottenham Hotspur game I thought they should have lost. But hey, this is football. Anything happens. Everton play host to Luton. Everton have found a new form. They're looking better now. So let's have a little bit of expectation on that one. I think Everton should win. But you see, the thing about Everton is every time you expect them to win, every time you think they should win, that's when they lose. So I'm not putting any bets on them. Manchester United playing against Crystal Palace. A repeat of the Carabao Cup. Can they beat them? I think that Manchester United have found a rhythm to whatever madness that they're going through, and it just might work. And the reason being that Casemiro is now free to do what he's doing. The reason why he was struggling before, he's slow, and the Premier League, they want him to break play and also start attack. But right now, he's got Sofian Amrabat around him, who is his counterfoil, who helps him to bring stability around that defensive midfield shield. Now he can help support attack, because Bruno Fernandes is a player who does not know his wing. He's a marauding player who doesn't know whether he's a 10, he's a support striker, he's a wide man. but it's everywhere. But for as long as they got the midfield, like things fall apart. They say the centers cannot hold. For as long as the centers can hold, things will definitely not fall apart. I think that Manchester United should be able to win this one. But hey, Manchester United is not one of those teams you want to put in your accumulator. Put it on a single bet if you're betting on them. Don't go and say that if they said they will win and then you go and bet on them and say, oh, now Man United cut my ticket tonight because I don't want that. Newcastle play against Burnley again. I don't understand. Are they replaying the whole Carabao Cup fixtures and the rest of them? Newcastle play Burnley, West Ham play against Sheffield, beating Manchester City will go away again to Wolves. I hope they fly this time. They don't need to travel by road so that Pep Guardiola does not come out again and give us excuses that are untenable by EPS standard or by Nigerian League standard, sorry. And Tottenham Hotspur feeling fly and feeling excited that they came to the Emirates and got a 2-2 draw. Might be banking on Son of the Soil to do something against Liverpool, the team with the most fearsome attack lineup and a team that can really bring them down to earth. Tottenham Hotspur have not lost this season. Liverpool doesn't want to go to White Hart Lane and be whitewashed. So this game is going to be interesting. My smart money says Liverpool will win. Sorry, Spurs fans, Gwen. Sorry, everybody who likes Spurs. Tulu, my friend. Sorry, I know you're listening in the office, but I'm just saying, I think Liverpool will beat Spurs. But if Spurs beat Liverpool, then we'll start taking them very, very serious. In France, it's Clermont playing against Paris Saint-Germain. I think Paris Saint-Germain will win, even though they are not really fantastic this season. But I think Clermont will not be too strong for them to handle. Now, Monaco play host to Marseille. Marseille is in the news for Zidane coming, for new ownership and all that. This game is going to be critical. It's going to be critical. One for the coach to put himself in the right direction. If he wins, well, he's putting himself in frame to keep his job. If he loses, so it's a distraction of the talk of Zidane and the rest that is getting to him. Well, let's see how that goes anyway. Bochum play host to Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany. FC Cologne play host to Stuttgart, also in Germany. Heidenheim plays host to Union Berlin, the surprise team of last season and even this season. So far in the Champions League, they lost by a goal. Yes, Jude Bellingham, 94th minute goal to Real Madrid at the newly built Bernabeu, or the renovated or recalibrated Bernabeu Stadium, but whatever it is, they gave a good account of themselves. They were not bruised, they were not battered, they were not whitewashed. Mainz play against Bayer Leverkusen in a game that we expect Victor Boniface to burn the faces of Mainz. Again, like I said, one of the candidates for the Madrid job is Xabi Alonso. He's a top candidate, and I'm saying that he gets that job. And if Victor Boniface keeps scoring the way he's scoring right now, he just might be the guy that goes to join Mbappe. Mbappe is not going to be the all-and-all striker. There's always going to be a backup to him. And it does look like Victor Boniface will be the man to bank on. If you don't think that's possible, tell me what you think in the comment section. But that's my own prediction. I didn't hear that from anywhere. I'm just giving you my own thought. Wolfsburg play against Eintracht Frankfurt, two clubs that are the same standard, the same level, the same way of playing. Seems like there's going to be plenty of goals here. And the Super Cup conquerors of Bayern Munich are going to test Harry Kane's ability to score. 7 goals he scored so far this season. They are going to test his ability to score. RB Leipzig would host Bayern Munich and see if they can repeat what they did, the 3-0 win in the Super Cup in Munich, if they can repeat it in this game. But it's going to be very, very close. Over 1.5 is guaranteed. Over 2.5 is likely. Beyond that, I can't tell you who would win. Lecce play host to Napoli. Victor Osimhen, frowning his face, would want to show, yes, whether truly he has the coconut head that they say he have, or the last time he scored was just one for the lucky moment. But I think he's a beast. He would score. I think he's one who can rise above challenges and troubles. That's the story of Victor Osimhen's life. He's always had that thick skin to deal with whatever wars and bombs that are falling around him. He's always come out of the arches of troubles or defeat like a phoenix and rose tall to become a superhero. Whether it's COVID, whether it's the death of his dad, which is very, very painful, which have ended some people's career. Adriano is a good example. Is rose tall and shine like a million star. And I think that this is another opportunity for him to shine like a million star. I think that this crisis, I don't know, but this crisis that have happened will turn out to be something good. And that's just what I think. I think that it's an internally generated crisis. Like, shake the water a bit. These guys are feeling too loved, too pampered, too overrated. Let's shake the water a bit. This is my own postulation. Leave all those people racism and their ignorance. I just think that it's an internal on straight from ADL. ADL is a movie man. He likes drama, and he felt like drama conflicts. If you're a script writer, if you're doing movie, you know that the very, very heart and soul of any movie is conflict. You have to find conflict. If you submit a movie script to somebody, the first question they ask you, what's the conflict here? What's the protagonist? Who's the catalyst? Who's the hero and who's the villain? What's the conflict? How do they conflict each other? How do they, antagonizes each other to get a moral story or a super climax ending? So I just think that was what they did at Napoli, and it's ended first with a 4-0 win. I say 4-1 or 4-0. And they're going to go for that and see. Lecce does look like a winnable opponent, even though they're going on the road. And AC Milan plays against Lazio. Lazio has been a thorn in the flesh of a lot of teams, especially Napoli. They just might bring AC Milan resurgence again to a halt. Salernitana and Inter Milan are going to play, but Inter Milan beat the big ones, lose to the small ones. You really don't know what to say. But I think that Inter Milan will win. Inter will win this one. I also think that that AC Milan Lazio game is going to be a very close one. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to win. In Serie A at the weekend, it's going to be Getafe playing against Villarreal, Rayo Vallecano playing against Real Mallorca. Girona, who are on top, are going to test their ability with the giant of all giants, the Goliath of all Goliath, the Goliath with the power of Samson and the God of David. Yeah, because that's who Real Madrid is. They're going to play host to Real Madrid 5:30 on Saturday. This is the one that would shape things a little bit and tell them you're playing, you want to bamba, you want to roll with the big boys, right? Then you would dance the dance of the big boys. You will fight the fight of the big boys. You know how they say, new levels, new devils. This is the devil that you have to face, but this is the devil that calls themselves the White Angels. Okay, Real Sociedad will play against Athletic Bilbao. That's how it goes over there. Let's come back to some of the headlines that we are having today and news pages across the European spectrum. Yeah, the biggest story to return to the dugout. This man had won the Champions League 3 times, first French manager to win the Champions League, the first and only French manager to win the Champions League, even though they invented this sole competition. Yeah, but they've not won it since. And it's won as a player, it's won as a manager, it's won the Spanish La Liga, it's won the World Club Cup, it's won the Spanish Super Cup, the European Super Cup, it's won everything, right? But going to Olympic myself. That's going to be tough. Angry and frustrated Cristiano Ronaldo needed. Okay, so everywhere. Have you noticed that everywhere Ronaldo he gets angry, he gets frustrated? You see that like he had too much expectation for himself and for people. I don't know. Angry and frustrated Cristiano Ronaldo needed to adapt to Man United teammate, not at his level, says Gary Neville, who hopes his old teammate realizes his criticism came from a good place. I never done define how to make friends. But like say he won't go Saudi Arabia now. He don't define how to indirectly apologize. But the biggest conversation in Europe is the Ryder Cup. Europe are dominating. It's going up and down anyway. You punch me, I punch you. You take a 2-point lead, I take a 2-point lead. That's how the battle is going there. But it's not beginning to look like Europe will wrap it up. But hey, that's how they said in 1999. We know what happened. Some kind of comeback will just happen, and the people you expect to take it will end up not taking it. But let's just keep our fingers crossed and see how that one goes. Anyway, let's go to your comment on Instagram. A lot of comments are flying in already. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, let me start from Mr. Sugar. I have been here that long, but I have spent close to £2,000 improving myself, and next year I'm going to spend more on AI. Keep investing. Self-investment is the best investment. It's not something that is lost. You would always know that you did something for yourself. That's one thing that I like with self-investment. I can always tell my wife that when I buy books that I will read, I don't think it's wasted money. It's my money invested in myself, and it's something that can be left there for some other people to come and benefit from. Mr. Sugar, I say I don't really like it here in the UK, but one thing UK has taught me is that every day I think of how to improve myself. Well, that's one thing you get from living in the UK, because you start seeing that the value of improving yourself on the next man. Because when the next man improve themselves, you see the gains. You see how they progress. So you two think, okay, if I do that, there is a level of meritocracy in that society, even though there is subtle racism in the UK, subtle discrimination. And then the worst part of the UK is when Indian people discriminate against Africans. I don't know if you guys have encountered that, but Indians discriminate against Africans. And then you see some Jamaicans also discriminate against Africans. And then you now know that this is craziness at another level, where an India or Pakistani people discriminating against Africa. But it does happen anyway, because again, Africans are not really that united. And like what I was saying from the beginning, we don't create wealth. And if you don't create wealth, it's hard. Let me give you a very good example, vintage practical example. In Canada, for instance, Canada is becoming the most cosmopolitan. Canada is becoming like New York, the most cosmopolitan country in the world, where everybody, people from all walks of life come. So it is now going to be that rat race of survival for the fittest. But what the Indians have succeeded in doing in Canada is just about what the Jewish people succeeded in doing in New York. You know, in New York and Chicago, so Chicago is Italians initially. What they succeeded in doing in New York is that Jewish people, when they arrive, they look for their Jewish community. And most times they even arrive on the invitation of their fellow Jewish people. They look for their Jewish community. And as soon as they arrive, the Jewish community have what they call the Jewish cooperative, right? They have their own cooperative, well registered, funded, and all that. They take money from the cooperative and give you, first, go and buy a house. Because if you have stability, you worry less. Go and buy a house and be paying back the community, the cooperative. That's one. And that one doesn't come with high interest rates. Two, what kind of business do you want to do? They attach you with somebody who's doing the same business, you know, like this thing that Igbo people do where they send somebody to go and learn. Attach you to somebody who's doing exactly the type of business that you want to do, so that they teach you the rand. You know, you might know it from where you're coming from, but this is a new environment. They teach you the rand, the tax law, the how to weave your way around it so that you don't get police case, you don't get issue, you don't have a bad record. And then they teach you the method of the credit score, so that your credit record is very good, so that you can access more loans and all that. You know, the American society is not a cash society, it's a loan facility society. And so they give you money when you're ready to also start a business. So you can be taking from one person and running your business and be growing. That's some expansion. And the community keep growing like that. That's how they put wealth within their community. Indians are practicing that now in Canada. The earlier generation that have been to Canada have, you know, expanded, built a beautiful cooperative, and, you know, created real estate at a very premium level in choices area. Now, Canada is a big land. This is the third largest country in the world in terms of landmass, right? Big land. My memory, but they're in the top 10. Maybe not third, but they're in the top 10. And they don't have as much people, Canadians, as the rest of all the big countries like Russia, America, Sudan. You know, they don't have much people like that. Sudan doesn't have much people. One, Salvation of Canada. So what they now do is the community, as you come in, if you're working in tech or anything, they provide you loan facilities, first get accommodation. Again, that's stability, ownership, right? And then they start subsidizing your investment plan so that you can step up faster than fresh immigrants. Black community, on the other hand, and then the Chinese people also do that very well. And when you look at the Indian women and the Chinese women, whether in US or in Canada or in London or in the UK, you notice that they stay married. Like let it be 10, 20, 15, 30 years, they stay married. Doesn't mean that the men don't do bad or things don't go wrong, but they stay married. In Nigeria, Africa, not Nigeria, because Ghanaians are even doing worse. Ghanaians, Ugandans, and the rest are doing worse. The Africans, when the man gets there, probably brings a woman. Before you know it, once she gets her papers, she's fighting for divorce, kicking the man out of the house. The man again start afresh. And how many times do you need to start afresh before you lose the will to continue? Those are some of the things that we do in that community that sets us back. Because when you're starting afresh, first off, you're starting afresh from a place of pain and regret and frustration. Not like, oh, you just came in from Africa fresh out of the boat and you're in a hurry. No, not the boat, fresh out of the plane and you're in a hurry. Some people still go by boats anyway. And you're in a hurry to establish yourself. This one you're doing it with regret to pain that, oh, the woman that I got. There's some men too, and they're beat me like that too. So who get married to a hustling and surviving woman, and then they start becoming a problem in nuisance, cheating around and doing all that. It becomes a problem. So this is some of the things that we need to fix as a black community to be able to grow. Because listen, no matter how much noise we make, it's like when people were protesting, I keep saying, if you don't make a protest in the right way, you will still not get value. So we need to re-engineer the way we set up our structures so that we don't create this system where black. If you look at most of the black parents, most of the children involved in this knife gang in the UK are black. It's not a coincidence. The same social engineering that happened in the US, where most people who are incarcerated are black, is beginning to happen in the UK. Because you keep getting involved. As this a 17-year-old boy now that stabbed a 15-year-old girl, that the case is on in the UK, and might most likely go to jail because you get that. If you keep getting all those penalties on your name, at a point you'll not be able to access loan, you'll not be able to get credit scores, you'll not be able to get facility. What comes in depression, drug, just like in the US. So the black community must wake up to re-engineer itself and see that look, you come this place called hustle. Hustling ground, not be where you they create problem. Like I always say, we don't have to be friends to work together, but friendship makes the work better. But if at the end of the day the possibility of friendship is not there, then we can make do with just hustling and growing. Let me read some of the messages that we have. Look, man, Adibaya say, I am an entrepreneur and from experience and an average black person, I am simply ostentatious in nature. And big grandma, they worry you not to listen to Yinka Sports. This attitude kills wealth. We also lack financial knowledge of wealth creation. 100%. Just that this ostentatious when you bring come now, just scatter the whole thing. Ike Albert says, good morning, boss. Coming from poor home affects drastically unless there is change of mindset. If you are Victor Sime, what will you do? For me, I will just see out my contract and leave for free. If I'm Victor Sime, I'll move on. The storm is the event is not big enough for the kind of storm that is coming around it. That's one part of it. That's one part of it. Two, the club have made the move. Maybe they didn't come out to re say, "Oh, we're sorry." Oh, that Victor Sime was sorry. But I'm going to, if I'm Victor Sime, I'm going to just suppose the kind of love. In football, I don't think there's been any African player that have been this loved by any club in Europe. Correct me if I am wrong. So from George Weah to Didier Drogba to Sadio Mane, Elijah Diop, Austin Kocha, all of the African players, Samuel Eto'o. I'm not seeing any player really this loved in a short while like they love Osimhen at Napoli. So I'm going to scale the love. This is the kind of club you can always come back to. I'm going to scale the love that the city, the fans, and even the club have for me. So this is how I measure it. Last season, there are 32 players registered for Napoli, right? Of these 32, every game day, 11 players are playing. You're not the only one scoring, you're not the only one dribbling, you're not the only one passing. Every other player are doing something. But you're the only player whose name is echoing in the stadium. Agreed. You scored over 30 goals in all competition last season, 5 in 6 Champions League games, 26 in the league. Yeah, I agree. But again, look at it from this angle. You have to think about the fact that these people willingly gave you that love. Yes, a few social media posts that did not go that well should not destroy that much relationship. Again, when you go back to Victor Simen's previous post, maybe he's deleted it now, he's also called himself Coconut Head. He's also called himself Coconut Head when he missed that bicycle kick in the World Cup qualifiers and Victor Ikweba attacked him. He called himself a coconut, say him, me, why I get coconut head. So it could be a social media stunt that went bad. Okay. But that same TikTok handle, Napoli official TikTok handle, also did another one where he pocket pick a defender and scored. Nobody's making any comment about it. So that's the whole methodology of their social media posting. I'm not going to take that and lose the whole big bag of relation. And then somebody will come in and say, somebody said to me yesterday that if this thing you're saying, why didn't you do it with Larry Zamadio? The difference between that is one was somebody whose target was to kill me. That's the target. If he make ridicule of me, I move on. I forget it. I grow in this platform, right? But when you look at that, you can't just oppose the two, right? You can't just oppose the two. I would say I will move on. I'm not sure Victor Osimhen ever wanted to extend his contract with Napoli. That's the truth. I spoke to him the last time I met him in Abuja, and we had a private side conversation that is not on the interview that I posted. I'm not really sure he wanted to improve his, like, renew his contract. Or probably if he would renew, there are certain terms clauses that will be in the contract. That ABL would not want to put in the contract. ADL is Aurelio De Laurentiis, for those who don't know who ADL is. So I think that I'll say at my contract or play to the end of this season and request for a transfer, look for the right club and move on. But I will keep my relationship with Napoli. Because again, in football, I don't know if Victor Osimhen would ever get another place where he will be loved the way Napoli loved him. And you still think about football is all of these things that happen when you're playing. I was having that conversation with Vito a couple of days ago. All of these things that happen when you're playing is 0.0001%. The real deal is when you retire. That's when the real money comes in. That's when the real business comes in. That's when the real investment comes in. That's when you really need all this relationship, all this network, right? So if you hurriedly burn the bridge of a potential massive investment partnership link between Africa and Europe, I don't know where you're going to go build it again. It's going to be very, very hard. So you should think as an investment person, not just as an emotional person. I know it's hard, but it's something to think about. Good. Mr. Sugar say, if you want to make more year, you must improve, do courses that will make you higher. Yes. Mr. Sugar, I wanted to say, I've not been here that long, but I have spent close to £2,000 improving myself. And next year, I'm going to spend more on AI. But when I was in Nigeria, it's from one main market to church and then party or beer parlor. This is exactly what I have said. We don't create a society that that tells you progression is this path. What we do is work, church, tithe, first fruit, blah blah blah. That's the model, but it's not a practicable model. It's not a working model. There is no science to it. It's not a working model. So let's create a working model that our children can inherit, not the ones that will make them hate us or that make us feel bad. Mr. Chuka said, I love Nigeria and I don't really like it here in the UK, but I think we waste a lot of time in Nigeria is the headquarter of wasting time. He said most social clubs in Odisha is for drinking alcohol and eating of bitter leaf soup. Highest they do a job. Contribute 5K and give one person today and another person tomorrow. Bobby Ray, he said Madrid should win because they'll be losing at the Maradona on Tuesday. Are you really sure about that one? Well, Madrid does not have attacker, so to bet on them is hard. Bobby Ray says, make you start first. Okay, yeah, Mr. Sugar said make you start first. Bobby Ray say 2013. Bobby Ray 213 says Indians they discriminate against blacks a lot, and it is infuriating. No, it shouldn't infuriate you. Sometimes you just get to that point where you choose your block of people. You choose your block of people, and alliance is about power. If you know that these people have nothing to offer you, it is hard naturally to love and respect and regard them. Again, don't forget that black people are also chasing the ball that Indians are chasing, either in Canada, US, or the UK. So the best way to see them as a rival, as an enemy, is like getting angry like an Arsenal fan hates Spurs, right? Is to see them as an enemy so that you don't make the mistake of trying to now becoming friends with them and sharing trade secrets and all that. So I understand that. I always tell people that I don't feel like it's a problem when Indians discriminate against a black person because they are chasing the same ball. They're trying to get the same slice. Bobby Ray says some blacks in London who grew up in the UK discriminate against fellow blacks. That one is even worse. It's like it cut across everywhere, even in Canada, in US, cut across fellow blacks from the motherland. Once you have the African accent, they look down on you. The super, that's what killing super. That thing you just mentioned is what killing. That's why I said Super Eagles to win any major trophy, it go hard. You see all those born in the abroad players, they feel like they're superior to the ones that are in Nigeria. And they come in, they're not how play. They're rejected by their choosing countries. But when they come here with that mentality of we're superior, we're better. And that thing is the biggest problem. The born in the abroad Nigerians, they're the worst group of people you want to align with. They don't like you Funny enough, they are not white enough to be selected by the white people. They are not Nigerian enough to be Nigerian. They are caught in the middle. They are the most confused people. They don't get race. They are raceless people. But guess what? They're the most discriminative people you would ever meet. Mr. Sugar, I want to say this issue of black boys in UK causing problem is not really as it is, but it is not a lie though. But 70% of the truth is that he's psychologically weak. That's why it got to him. I don't think Osimhen is psychologically weak. I just think that people used the message. People push him on it, and it may be a whole lot. Mr. Sugar said pedophiles in UK is white people. Yes, like serial killers in America, and also gangs in rural communities like Kent is white dominated. Okay, this was treated by Akala and listened to it yesterday on Facebook. Okay, psychologically weak, no way, is the most mentally strong player to ever play for the Super Eagles. I agree with you on that one. I know him closely. Victor Osimhen is mentally strong. That boy, that's why I always use the word beast. He's a beast of a human being. It's just that sometimes, no matter how strong you are, you get it. Like a lot of things don't get to me. You can be doing things, I'll be looking at you, but the last 2 years, my son's health challenge have gotten to me in ways that I never expected. Because first off, when a doctor tells you we don't really have a cure, the thing that has to do with brain is there is not cure, so you are just managing to go through each day, and they tell you it will outgrow it. So as a parent, what you're receiving is that there's no solution to this problem, but let's just keep spending money to sustain the problem. That's tough as a human being. There's no mental circumference in which you can fix it. So there could be something getting to you. Come on, let's say moment or two when you are arriving at the pinnacle of your youthful excellence in football. Your father who raised you died. Your family ganged up and they are embarrassing you publicly. It's a whole lot. At some point, something will get to you. That doesn't mean he's not mentally strong. Mr. Sugar wants to say Black Gang is only in London and the media keep painting it that it's blacks. Well, they are black. Are they white? They're black. So there's nothing you can do about it. And there's also Black Gang in Manchester and Newcastle as well. Okay. Obviously, the dominant number will be white. It's a white country, but they are black gangs. Whether you like it in the apartments. Is that not what they call it now? And that's what they used to call it. In the apartment, most of the gangs are blacks, not majorly from Africa, some are Jamaicans, but blacks. So that's the way it is. It's surrounded by sycophants that feed his ego. I mean, there is no way you would have that kind of money at that young age. Look at yourself, think about it at the age of 25. If you have millions, who will surround you? Is it not people like your age who don't have money? And because they don't have money, they want to tell you what you want to hear. They want to give you things that you want to hear that will make you not cut them off. Don't forget that at 25, if you come upon money, any small thing that somebody tried to say, this is not the Victor Osimhen that come out in public and say they will advise, but I will do what I want to do. Do you think people don't advise him? People do. Somebody asked me yesterday if I would advise Victor since I'm close. I said no, I will not. He already made his position clear. Don't advise me on what's in my mind I will do. But I always wish him well. I like him that much. I always wish him well. I don't go, hey, Victor, do this. I used to, but once he make that comment, I know, okay, let's leave this thing. Mr. Shegon, I said the biggest problem blacks have is broken home. Check. Most gang members come from broken home. Our women think they do whatever they like. Okay, that's a problem. At least we've seen a problem. These psychophants are also the ones that are stoking the situation to make it look like they always have his back. Obviously, that's true. Baba, it's true that your mother made you tough, but imagine if you are in the UK, your mom can't do those things to you. My younger sister, my immediate younger sister, is raising three children, 2 boys and a girl. Those children, are the same way my mother raised me. Neither get the Frank and raise her children. So now be all this excuse of UK. Get people for UK where we see they deal with their children well. Get people. How Indian children say they behave well. A man trained by a single parent, especially single moms. Well, you have a point. I'm not going to argue against it, but that excuse sometimes it's not really tenable. East Studio said the second largest. Okay, yeah. So I just wasn't absolutely sure. In my line of job, they say, well, you're not absolutely sure, through a vague number that is near and not so far. That's how we were taught when I was in Germany learning this trade that I shouldn't even have gone to pay money for to learn. Emmanuel Olivier says the Pakistani also do what you just explained about the Indians here in the UK. Other tribes do it. Now only we they do in America. Nigerians going to find hard. They want to go tell people say you don't get paper, say you find paper so that they go deport you. Then they'll call you that say they laugh. Or even in the UK, they that gossip you like, what's wrong with you people? Project 7, he said, I don't blame the foreign-born Super Eagles players for looking down on the home-based players. To be honest, just look at the way Chukwueze and Iheanacho behaves. I blame them. That doesn't give you the right to look down on them. That doesn't give you the right to look down on them because, again, the foreign-based players are also worse. You see, I'm embedded in the team. I know more about that Super Eagles than you can ever imagine. Whatever you think those other players are doing, those foreign-based are worse. They're not saints themselves. Obaregere says, I think the major problem with Africans and Black is self-centeredness. We hardly build community life. Secondly, we want to live large without going through process. I agree with you completely. Sadly, he said your experience with Brilla is different from Victor Osimhen. Yeah, that's my point. It's different. So people trying to use that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people use that. Like that experience is different. Osimhen doesn't have the kind of experience. If he get half of what I got, I mean, see just social media post the vessel. you don't see when somebody say I'm setting up. I'm a 6 billion naira man against you that have 90,000 naira in the bank. I want to run you out of the market. Like I want to run you crazy. It's a different thing. And I kept quiet. I was observing, like, let's see now. So see where we are. And I have to deal with COVID. I have to deal with the child's health that I've been dealing with over 2 years and all that. I'm still looking. I'm looking for my father. Like, if these ones, they are not there. The people try to compare the two is different. And sometimes when you just want to make a comment, people that bring that one of you, and no, it's not. It's hard listening to people do that, but it's not the right way. Here, where Herbert say, bros, please, so leave these people alone. Oh, them they hear your voice, so cause them not gonna give you room to interview them again. Najaba, I tell them to their face. So intervene. My business is not tied to interviewing anybody. That's just the basic truth. My business model from day one, I knew that doesn't work. When I meet them, the same way I talk to the home-based players, the Moses Simon, the Ahmed Musa, I talk to all of them. We're not enemies, though. Kenneth Omera, go ask Emmanuel Sebastian, what going to interview Kenneth? Kenneth will say, but bros, you go treat us well 1 minute, you go attack us again. What we go do for you when we make you stop? I won't stop. If you're doing well, I'm going to praise you. But if you're doing wrong, the people that listen to me, spend their time to listen to me, also wants to hear the truth. Okay? So I'm going to put the truth to them. And I'm also still going to tell them, don't run down the Super Eagles. Super Eagles is our own. It's Nigeria. Like I don't like politicians, but I love Nigeria. So even though they're in charge, I'm not going to run Nigeria down. I'm going to contribute. I'm going to engineer people's mindset to contributing. But at the same time, when somebody is doing something wrong in Nigeria, I'm going to call them out. Like in our football, even the NFF and the league people say, hey, now you go produce content for this league. Now you go Twitter, go attack us. I say, because you're not doing well. If you're not doing well, you're not doing well. The individual is different from the project. Always remember that. So Nigeria is bigger than any individual. And my personal relationship, the desire for my channel to grow does not mean I see things that are going wrong, I'll be doing eye service. I know fit. I wasn't, when I said not going to like me, that's the truth. You when they watch me, I go verse, say, this is not the Idafida. This is not the reason why I choose to subscribe to Idafe YouTube channel. One of the things you won't get from me is trying to play eye service. I won't do that. Not even to the guys that I love to the core. People like Odion, Osimhen, Kenneth, who's become a friend now, family and business partner. You know, all of those guys, Ahmed Musa, guys that I really like. They step out of line. And then there are some of the born in the abroad, like Leo Balogun, who's a friend, is a partner in my other company. But they do anyhow, they will say anyhow. Obaregere says, that's the last one I'm going to take. He says, what you just said about the discrimination from foreign-born Nigerian players is true. This is one of the reasons we should improve our league and ensure you don't beg these guys to come play for Nigeria. Fact, I've never been so good, and I've been hammering this. Once our league is good, some of this born in their abroad, they're not going to make the team. And I even said it. I said it to the new NFL president. I said, listen, every team that have succeeded, apart from the 1980 team, which is the predominantly home-based, the other two teams that have won the Nations Cup, the core of their strength comes from the infusion of Nigerian league players. I don't think that the difference between the Nigerian league today and 2013 is so far apart that you cannot apply the same method. Because again, footballers strive where there is competition. Look at Ramsdale trying to catch both breeze and fly, ant, mosquito on that Carabao Cup game because there's competition. He now sees that there is a need to prove himself, and he will keep proving himself every chance he gets. That's just the way human life is. Once you get competition, there are very few people, the Ronaldos of this world, the Messis, the Suarez, who don't need competition to be better. Just know that I have set up my mind to be the ultimate alpha guy in this industry, and there's no stopping me. The Kobe Bryants of this world, the Michael Jordan, the LeBron James, all those guys. But those are the exceptions to the rule. In the regular setup, competition drives you, and nothing hurts you like a competition that you assume that's not on your level. So if a European football, if Victor Boniface comes to take Victor Osimhen's position, he cannot complain. But imagine Animade, when he was still in Bedell Insurance, he's gone to Dubai now, comes in and becomes the number one striker. First game, bang, hat-trick. Next game again, hat-trick. Victor Osimhen go Europe, let us know, say, Naim be the main striker, right? Because that's what competition does. And the worst competition, Jack Cancelo could not handle it now. When they bring Rico Lewis, will be like small tom, take on replacement. He couldn't handle it. Like, he owe me. That's discrimination on another level, at professional level. He owe me. Now they want to use this small picking. I'm not going to play for this club again. So that happens, okay? But sometimes you just have to be strong-hearted. When they use Bukayo Saka, replace Nicolas Pepe, the Ogborini just come out completely. Some other players will say, and this small picking for this academy will die here. Decrease. I don't care whether you play for England or we die here. Now you be my competition, we die here. But not everybody can deal with competition anyway. Well, thank you very much for your time on the show today. I hope your weekend goes well. I hope you have a fantastic time. And if you are anywhere near a Nigerian Premier Football League stadium where matches is going to be, I think there's going to be 5 or 6 games because of some of the games some of the teams that are on the continent. Please do want to go to the stadium and support your favorite Nigerian team. Next week, we'll be here for us to discuss about all of the actions that went down. My name is Idafi Matthew. You love to come in the Legoton of Sports. It's been a wonderful time. To Sadi Bambo, you too enjoy your weekend. You all have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.